Hey guys, this is Terry Rogers again. After the last video that I did on the different rigs and stuff that I use, um, I had one or two guys ask me, if I could show what type of knots that I use and how to tie them. It's pretty simple. There's no real big trick to it or anything like that. I use a no knot Snell knot, a cow hitch for my sinkers, and Palomar knot also I use quite a bit. Uh, I figured I'd just grab some stuff, throw it out here on the table real quick, and tie a few of them just to make a real short video, just to show you how I do it. But anyways, we'll get started. Okay, guys, the things that I use to make up these rigs. For my main line, I use an 80-pound braid Spectra. It seems to be a pretty good line. I've never really had any trouble out of it. Pretty smooth and durable, and I just really like it a lot. And for my leaders to the hooks there, this is what I use. It's just the 50-pound Omniflex by Zebco. It's really abrasion resistant, pretty strong. I like it. Never had any problems with it either. I've caught some really nice fish, 50, 60 pounders with it, and it did just fine. And a lot of times whenever I'm using a double drop loop or a drop loop rig, I will use something around a 20 pound. This is 30 pound right here, big game, but I'll use somewhere around 18-20 pound test line just to go down to the sinker, the bank sinker, just in case I get it hung up and the hook and everything is not hung up. I can break it off without losing the hook. Or if you have a fish on it and something gets tangled up and that bank sinker gets hung up down there, you won't lose the fish. You'll snap off this 20 or 30 pound mono before you will the 80 pound main line. So anyways, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it just like I'm rigging it from one of my rods. What I would first do is I would first go and tie on a swivel, and the way I'm doing this right here is, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to go through that swivel. Now this is what I call, I don't know if it's the right name for it or not, but this is what I call a improved double clinch knot. It's a double loop clinch knot, and the reason I say it's double loop is because I go through that. Instead of making the clinch knot there, I will take it and go through it again to make a double loop on that swivel. And the way you make this clinch knot, I'm sure most of you know this, but some guys might help some people out. And if I don't, or if I do, that's great. And if you already know it, well, you can just kind of ignore this one until we get to the next one maybe. But anyways, what I do is I take it and I just twist it around, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 times, 12 times, whatever. And when you get that twisted like that, take this little tag end, run it back up through the loop. This little loop right there. You run it right up through that, hold on to that, and just kind of pull down. And what it does, it cinches down on itself. And you can pull and pull and pull on that, and you will not have that thing come undone. That's just like I said, that's the improved double clinch knot or double loop clinch knot. Like I say, like I said, I don't know if that's the right name for it or not. That's just what I call it. Take some cutters there, cut the little tag end off, and you have your main line attached to your swivel. Okay, main line's attached to the swivel, and then for let's see, for the Snell, I would use the 50-pound leader just like I usually do, 12 to 14 inches, somewhere around through there is about normal for me, what I use. And the way I usually do this, I usually use a no knot Snell, and I'll show you how to do this. Hopefully you guys can see this again. I will take the mono, run it straight through the eye from the hook side, and hold it in place with my left hand down the shank, and take this, the running end of it, and start looping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and loop maybe once or twice around the outside, coming back up. Whenever you're coming back up, you go right back through that eye of the hook and just pull tight, and it cinches down on itself. And that right there is a very, very strong knot that will not come undone unless you want it to. Cut the tag end off. There you go. There you go. You have a nice, good, strong Snell knot, and that thing will catch a lot of fish right there, and it will hang on to them. And the one thing about this right here, somebody was asking me, about a cow hitch. They didn't know what it was. A cow hitch is something that's very, very easy. You just take the line, double it like that, and all I do, I loop it, make one knot like that, make it real nice and tight, and then cut this little tag end off. And that, it just puts you a loop right here on the very end of that. It just, that's all it does. Well, that loop, what you can do is take that loop, thread it through the eye of your swivel, and once it's through there, just take your hook, take it through there, tighten it down, and that right there is called a cow hitch. That's what I've always heard it called. Now, if it is or isn't, yeah, well, I don't know, but that's what I've always heard it called. I've always used it like this, and that right there will hold. I mean, it holds. I mean, it's really, really good for tying on the three-way swivels. And also, one good thing about this is you can back this out if you want to. You can back that thing out, and you can change hook sizes, you can change leaders, whatever, without having to mess with it and cut the line or whatever. You can just do that real quick and put another one on. The way I do my three-way swivels, we'll just do this real quick. I'm talking way too much and saying way too much. Anyways, the way we do a three-way swivel, about the same way. I'll use a Palomar knot on this one. Palomar knot, what you do there is you just loop that line. Go, and it doesn't have to be a three-way swivel. It can be a normal swivel or whatever. These are just all around good knots to use. You go through, up and through the eye of your swivel. Okay. And just make a loop. See that loop right there? That's all you're doing, is just making a loop. Take this end right here on this one, open that up, put your swivel through it, and whenever you pull, all that will tighten up on each other. Well, this one won't because it's bright. There it goes. It all tightens up on each other, and that right there is a Palomar knot, and that baby right there will hold. These things are all around good knots for fishing. They're very, very strong. Very rarely does anyone have any problems with them. They're used all around. I mean, not just catfishing, but just about all kinds of other fishing too. There's just all around really good knots. Okay, once we get that, I will take, the cow hitch I was talking about earlier, and I showed you earlier. I will run that through that little three-way swivel eye, and pull it through. So there you have this going to your hook out here, and coming off of this on here to go to my weight right here. I usually have, like I said, about 20-30 pound, something like that, mono, 15 pound, just depends on how much weight I'm tossing. But anyways, this right here you can do the same way. You can do just like a double loop, or not a double loop, but just a single loop, and tie it. Another single loop on this end. Just a simple overhand loop knot, that's all it is. And tie that off. So now you have, two loops on both ends. One of these loops I am going to thread through the bottom of that three-way swivel and make it into a little cow hitch right there. Okay, if you guys can see, that's holding on there pretty good. I mean, all it is, it just snugs down on itself. That's all it is. And then this one, I am going to put, this is just a 4-ounce sinker. I just got it just for demonstration purposes. And I'm going to run it right through there, just like that, the same way. Loop it around, and there you have it. There's your sinker weight right there. Another kind of little cow hitch right on that. But that's the way I do the sinkers or the three-way rigs usually. Because this right here, this is going to be down, on the bottom, and it's going to be, it's going to be solid anchoring. And this right here is what's going to be floating, in the current. It's kind of going to be out here going all over the place, and flowing with the current. But it's going to be solid. But this is just going to be allowed to, to move back and forth and up and down and all that in the current with this three-way swivel. And the yellow one being the main line. It's just a very easy, effective setup. And the thing is, if you ever want to change weights out, if you don't have enough weight, well shoot, you can just do that, take that thing right off, and look at that, it comes right off of there. That's all you got to do. Put a 6-ounce weight on, or 8-ounce, or whatever. But it's real easy. And the same thing goes for your leaders. With that little cow hitch, that I put on there. You can take it right off. You can swap it out for a 3/0, 5/0, or maybe a kale hook, or a different type of circle hook, different brand, whatever. But anyways, I just figured I'd show y'all a few little things like that, and I don't know, maybe help y'all out a little bit. If it does, great, and if I'm telling you something you already knew, well, no big deal. But I just like trying to help out people that want to learn a little bit more. I've been doing this for, oh good Lord, probably 40 years plus, and I've learned a few things along the way. And like I said, if I can pass some of this stuff on, even the simple things, like some knots, and different rigs and setups and what things looks like. If I can just do that, I'll be happy. I mean, I'm not trying to make a name for myself, by these videos or anything like that. I mean, it's a nice thing to do for people and just help them out. And that's what I'm all about, just helping people out. So without further ado. Okay guys, that's about the end of the video. I don't know, there's some other things here and there I could probably show you, you know, different rigs and stuff like that. Slip sinker rigs, but I think I did that in my last video. But anyways, that's just a few of the things there that, you know, that I just like to pass along. Somebody asked me about them, so I just showed you. And if anybody wants to ask me anything on how I do things, or how I tie things, or how I rig things, or anything else, just shoot me an email, text, put in the comments, something, you know, whatever. But anyways, just thought I'd make this little video for you, and if I help somebody out, great. Anyways, I'll talk with y'all later, and we'll see you next time.